Hello everyone, welcome to VISHNU IAS Academy YouTube channel. So whenever you are preparing for UPSC civil services, that may be prelims, mains and interview process in all the levels, definitely. So recent updates and current events and some kind of important information regarding women is very important. In this particular session, we'll focus on the medical termination of a pregnancy amendment bill 2021. So why this is in the news, every detail we will discuss. But particularly if you talk about, so whether women don't have any particular personal opinions, or whether women don't have any own decisions taken by, or whether women don't have any control on her body, whether women don't have a decision on their abortion. So all these kind of things are obviously very important. Like this question marking kind of things are obviously very important whenever you are reading different kind of articles regarding current affairs or current events. You have to think in multiple dimensions. So understanding in multiple ways, the multiple dimensions, we have to think positives, negatives, and we have to conclude in a best way. So all these things comes from the analysis. We'll analyze these all the important points regarding the medical termination pregnancy amendment bill 2021. Actually, this bill was introduced in the Lok Sabha long back. But why again in the news this time? Because recently the Rajya Sabha approved or paused this particular bill. What details we have in this particular current bill, in this particular the medical termination of the pregnancy amendment bill 2021? What new things are there? What changes are there? Everything we will discuss very clearly, because every point is very important for prelims and mains point of view. You will get directly women related questions, most of the cases the mains. In a prelims point of view also, definitely we can expect question from this. Let's have a look on each and every point very clearly. So why this particular point is in the news? Just if you observe, the Rajya Sabha, just I already told, has approved the medical termination of pregnancy amendment bill, that is MTP. Pregnancy bill termination of the pregnancy, medical termination of the pregnancy amendment bill 2122 amended the Medical Termination of the Pregnancy Act 1971. Already in the 1971 we got an act on the same lines, but based on the 1970 time, based on that particular period, based on that conditions, we have some important points regarding this Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act, so 1971. Present, what changes are there in this particular new act or in this particular new bill? What things are there? Now we'll see in this particular. On 16th March 2021, the Rajya Sabha approved this particular bill. Right? The last year, that is in 2020, that is 17th March 2020, that bill was approved in the Lok Sabha. The last year bill was paused in the Lok Sabha. Present, the recent 16th March 2021, this bill again passed in Rajya Sabha also. That's the important news here. That's why this is in the news. But what differences are there? That is, Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act 1971 and this particular present 2021 bill. What changes are there? What important key points this is approved? What important key features are there? What important changes are there? Every point will focus. If you observe here, one by one we will discuss highlights of this bill. What are the main highlights of this bill? Definitely we have to remember important. We can use in the mains also. Definitely we will get some direct questions in the prelims also. Then in this point of view, highlights of this bill. The act regulates the conditions, and whatever conditions are there regarding this abortion, all these things, that regulates the conditions under which the pregnancy may be aborted. Clear? If the pregnancy want to abort, some kind of regulations conditions are there. It regulates that conditions. Whatever conditions are there according to the 1971 Act, that regulations and conditions are changed in 2021, this particular bill. What happens in this particular bill? We'll see. The bill increases the time period. Present, according to this new bill, the time period, whatever time period we are taken for the pregnancy may be aborted. For that, the time period is increased. This is the main intention of this particular bill. And some more additional important points also included. We'll see. Everyone got the essence of this particular bill. Whatever regulates the conditions, the first important point, this new bill regulates the conditions which pregnancy may be aborted, as well as increases the time period. This is first most important point. The currently abortion requires the opinion of the one doctor. The present, according to 1971 Act, the opinion of one doctor is necessary if it is done within the 12 weeks. If you want to take an abortion within the 12 weeks, one doctor suggestion is compulsory needed here. And 12 weeks of the conception, and two doctors if it is done between 12 weeks to 20 weeks. Within the 12 weeks, one doctor permission is important. So 12 weeks to 20 weeks, two doctors consultation, two doctors permission is obviously very, very important in this particular case. At present, these are the conditions. And the bill allows, these are the actual present, currently we have these conditions are there to abort the pregnancy. But present, this bill introducing what? The bill allows abortion to be done and the advice of one doctor up to 20 weeks. This is changed. Just observe the previous situation, up to 12 weeks. If you want to abort, one doctor suggestion is important, and 12 to 20 weeks, two doctor suggestion is obviously important. Advice is important. Now present, this bill introducing only one doctor advice up to 20 weeks. Up to 20 weeks, only one doctor suggestion is important. And two doctors in case of certain categories of women between 20 to 24 weeks. Even that period is increased, we already discussed. The period is increased as well as conditions are changed. How period is changing? Initially, currently what we have, so up to 12 weeks, one doctor advice. And 12 weeks to 20 weeks, two doctors advice. That is the general present current according to 1971 Act. But present what happens here? So one doctor advice is important up to 20 weeks. Up to 20 weeks. And even certain situations, 20 to 24 weeks. Previous case, maximum case up to 20 weeks only. The present it is changed to 24 weeks. From 20 to 24 weeks, in certain situation, certain cases, what that cases also we will see. In certain cases, two doctors advice is important if you want to abort between 20 to 24 weeks. These are the main changes in the bills. Compared to present act, these are the main changes. Then the bill sets up a state level medical boards to decide if a pregnancy may be terminated after 24 weeks. Just if you observe, even after 24 weeks also, to terminate the pregnancy chance is there, but based on some certain conditions. What conditions is important here? The bill sets up a state level medical board. Based on this medical board advices, they can go with a abort even after 24 weeks. If you want to terminate it after 24 weeks, so this medical board has to give the confirmation in case of, in what kind of cases? Substantial fatal abnormalities. Even at the 24 weeks of the pregnancy, if that fatal having any kind of abnormalities, maybe come from the genes or some kind of abnormalities if you find, at that particular situation also we can abort, that woman can abort that particular pregnancy based on the medical board advices. If you observe these three lines, what new things you are observing? This is not there in the previous present 1971 Act. What new things we are getting? One is up to 20 weeks, one doctor advice is important according to this bill. from 20 weeks to 24 weeks on certain special grounds and special situations. 2 doctors' advice is important to abort the pregnancy. Another special situation, that is if the fetal having any kind of abnormalities, even after 24 weeks also, that women can go to the abort, but based on the advice of the medical board. In this bill, they can set up state level medical boards. These are the main important key changes in this particular bill we can observe, but very clearly we will see some more important points regarding this bill. Key issues analysis. Generally, based on this present act is what, and coming bill what it is suggesting, what changes are there, how they are increasing the period, regarding that what key issues are there, how to analyze on all these points clearly. Let's understand here. See, there are different opinions with regard to the allowing the abortions. Different kind of opinions are there. What kind of opinions are there? The one opinion, generally terminating a pregnancy is completely the choice of the pregnant woman. This is important point. So based on the termination of the pregnancy is only woman's choice as a part of her reproductive rights. How much rights she has, that woman has to reproductive system, that has rights. Similar way, that woman has a right to abort the pregnancy, only that own choice, her own choice. This is the first point. Similarly, the other is that the state has an obligation to protect life. Even that fetus is not out, still if that woman is a member of the state, or that particular person have a rights, similarly, so protection of life, that particular state has to give, the country has to give the protection of life to that particular woman. Same basis, same lines, the child of fetus is a child of that particular woman. So woman has also indirectly having all the rights. State has an obligation to protect life, and hence should provide for the protection of the fetus. The state has a responsibility. State in the sense, the country has a responsibility to protect the life of the fetus also. For that purpose, safe deliveries, so safe kind of abnormal, these kind of abnormal kind of fetus if you are finding, so you have to take the safe abortions, safe deliveries, safe abortions for the protection of women. So the state is thinking in this way. That's why, so state has the right to protect all these things, that may be women, that may be fetus. Clear? These are the main important points. Across the world, countries set a different kind of procedures and varying conditions, time limits. In India, we are taking these procedures and time limits and procedures. In the different countries having all over India, all over world, we have different kind of conditions and time limits allowing abortions based on the fetal health and risk to the pregnant woman. Based on the risk of the pregnant woman as well as the health of the fetus and the risk of the fetus, based on that different kind of conditions and different kind of time periods are there all over world. Now similarly, another important situation in this particular case is writ petitions. Previously, according to 1971 Act, so what we have only chance up to 20 weeks pregnancy can abort by taking 2 doctors' advice. We cannot go beyond this 20 weeks, but present bill giving the permission beyond 24 weeks also. But why these writ petitions have been filed by women? So many writ petitions filed by women seeking permission to abort pregnancies. So women is seeking permission to abort the pregnancies based on the writ petitions previously, so they can go to the abortions. But beyond 20 weeks, according to 1971 Act, only 20 weeks is a permission. That's why some women are given writ petitions. So beyond the 20 weeks, due to the fetal abnormalities of rape cases, in these kind of situations, women can go to the writ petitions. With this writ petitions, even after 20 weeks also they can go to the pregnancies, they can go to the abortion of the pregnancies. In this kind of situation, only abnormalities of fetus as well as second important situations, rape victims. In that rape victims, whenever the woman is or any woman, so recently we have one case also there. One girl child is a victim of rape. She got pregnant. So based on this writ petition, they went for the abortions. These kind of important examples, these kind of important live examples also we have to use in the mains exam whenever you are writing the answers. Now, the bill allows abortion after 24 weeks. That's we already discussed. See, previous 1971 Act allows up to 20 weeks only. With writ petitions, they can go even beyond 20 weeks. But present bill, what it is giving? More than 20 weeks. After 20 weeks also, 24 weeks also, they can go for abortions. Only in case where the medical board requiring abortion due to the rape, the exceeds 24 weeks, the only resource remains through the writ petition. Here if you observe, the bill allows abortion after 24 weeks. The present bill allows abortion after 24 weeks also, but present 1971 Act allows up to 20 weeks only. With writ petitions, they can go for pregnancies beyond 20 weeks also. In some kind of situation, that is fetal abnormalities or in the rape cases, they can go. But in this particular case, so this they can go after 20 weeks also, only in case where the medical board diagnoses substantial fetal abnormalities. In the present bill also, even beyond 24 weeks, if the women want to go to the pregnancy abortions, that is based on the medical board has to give the permission, that medical board has to give the fetal abnormalities, then only that women go to the abortion after 24 weeks. This implies that for the case, see, requiring abortion due to the rape and the exceeds 24 weeks, the remains through writ petition. Even in the new bill also, similar to the previous 1971 Act, but only the period is changed. But if they want to go to the beyond 24 weeks, they want to go to the abortions, that medical board has to give the certification, that is regarding the fetal abnormalities or in the rape cases, again they can go only with a writ petition. So essence is same in the 1971 Act as well as the present bill, whatever we are taken. In both the cases, everything is same. The only period is changed. Some conditions are changed. That is, we have to focus here. Now, if you observe some more points. Now, so bill does not specify the category of women who can terminate the pregnancy. The bill is not specified a woman particularly. These are the key issues. Sometimes we have to focus between 20 to 24 weeks and leaves it to the prescribed through rules. It may be argued that such matters should be specified by the parliament and not delegated to the government. Always these kind of important issues compulsory should given by the parliament only, not leave to the government. This is also one of the issue, because in the bill they are not specified who can go, what kind of women, what categories of women who can go to the terminate the pregnancies in the 20 to 24 weeks category. That is also one more important point. Another thing, the act and the bill require abortion to be permitted only by doctors with a specialization in a gynecology or obstetrics, as there is a 75% shortage of such doctors. If you talk about in the rural areas, specialized doctors like gynecologists are not available. 75% shortage is there. If you give these kind of guidelines in the act, how that women can reach specialists or specialized gynecologists in the rural areas, that is also one of the key issue. Based on that also we have to think in the community health centers in the rural areas. Particularly, the shortage occurs in the rural areas. Rural women cannot reach, cannot find specialized gynecologist. They cannot go to the proper delivery. Still in India, so many rural people or rural women particularly are facing these kind of issues. So many pregnancy deaths are there. Maybe woman is breathing or fetal baby is breathing. These kind of issues are there in India because of specialized gynecologists are not available in most of the rural places. That's the main kind of issues you have to focus in this particular case. And the pregnant woman may continue to find the difficult to access facilities of the safe abortions, safe deliveries as well as safe abortions, because this act is related to abortions. So woman is not finding the proper place or not finding the perfect gynecologist, that means experienced or whatever the specialized gynecologist in the rural areas, because more shortage is there in India. That's why they are not still so able to go for the proper safe abortions. So they are going to the some rural doctors wherever they are available. So that kind of issues are there. That kind of issues also we have to think whenever you are focusing on this. In all dimensions we have to think. Whenever you are writing UPSC, prelims, mains, in all dimensions we have to think. Now, in this act, whatever key features are there. Now let's see. The bill amends the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act 1971, whatever we discussed till now. So this is Medical Termination MTP Act 1971. So we are doing the changes for this. The bill amends. This bill is amending previous 1971 Act MTP. So Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act 1971, we are amending that. What we amended? Time period we amended. Some conditions we amended. These kind of rules we are taken here. Now, the limit and grounds of the terminating a pregnancy. So, limit and grounds of the termination. Just observe here, the act specifies the grounds for terminating the pregnancy, specifies the time limit for the terminating the pregnancy. So, this bill is given, we already taken all the time periods. Right? So, to up to 20 weeks, one doctor consultation, one doctor advice is important according to the bill. 20 to 24 weeks, two doctors advice is important. Beyond the 24 weeks also we can go in special situations. If the fetal have some kind of abnormalities, or in the rape cases situations, if they can go with a medical board giving any kind of advice regarding that abnormalities or rape cases, definitely they can go using the writ petition. These are the new things in the bill we can find. In that bill, what we have, the limits as well as on which grounds they can go for abortions in the different situations. Clear? Time limit is there, as well as different kind of grounds we have, as well as then the bill amends these provisions, whatever provisions we just discussed here, all these provisions only the bill is providing. Next, the sources, all these sources taken from, so MTP 1971 Act, that is, so Medical Termination of the Pregnancy 1971 Act, as well as the the Termination of Pregnancy Amendment Bill 2021. So in 2020 this bill is passed in the Lok Sabha. In 2021 this bill is passed in the Rajya Sabha. So we can take this, actually this bill initiated in 2020. Now, the termination due to the failure of contraceptive methods are devised. This is also one of the new point in this bill. This is not there in the previous Act of MTP 1971. What is this bill? Termination due to failure of the contraceptive methods are devised. See, if any couple don't want children, but they follows regularly in intercourse with these kind of contraceptive methods. If that kind of contraceptive methods failures or any devices failure, they can go with these kind of pregnancy abortions. That is also included here. Another important point included here, unmarried women also can go to the abortions with this kind of situations. But in 1971 Act, that is not there. Unmarried woman is illegal in the before case, but present for total married women, unmarried women, total they are seeing as a woman. They are giving the equal priority. So in this particular bill, what thing is there? In this kind of contraceptive method fails, the act pregnancy may be, under this act, the pregnancy may be terminated up to 20 weeks. In these kind of situations, maybe married women as well as unmarried women can terminate the pregnancy within the or up to 20 weeks. Then the woman, in the case of the failure of the contraceptive method or device, just we take the same thing. Similarly, the bill allows unmarried, this is a new thing, the bill allows unmarried women to terminate a pregnancy for this reason. Not only married women, even if unmarried woman is following or participating in intercourse with this kind of methods, any contraceptive method, if that method is failures, then that unmarried women also can go to the pregnancy termination up to 20 weeks. These are the new important things in this particular bill. And next, what is medical board? We talked about medical boards. What is medical boards here? All the state and union territory government will constitute a medical board. The board will decide, we already talked about that, if any, according to the new bill 2021, if any woman want to go to the termination of the pregnancy after 24 weeks also, they should have a confirmation of the medical board. The board will decide if the pregnancy may be terminated after 24 weeks due to substantial fetal abnormalities. Only in these kind of situations, even after 24 weeks, the fetal has abnormalities, that women can go to the termination of the pregnancy. And each board will have that every medical board consists of the specialists of the gynecologist, pediatrician, as well as radiologist, sonologist, and other members notified by the state government. So total, so medical board consists of different kind of specialists. They should decide based on the fetal abnormalities. If they give the medical board give the certification, that woman even can go to the termination of the pregnancy after 24 weeks. This is very important key point. Next, another thing, privacy. And in this particular bill, they included privacy also. Otherwise, that medical team or doctor can face problems regarding, so they see violation of the punishable with imprisonment up to 1 year or fine or both. What is a privacy? Clear, just see. A registered medical practitioner may only reveal the details of a woman whose pregnancy has been terminated. If any woman is go to the termination of any reason, maybe within 20 weeks or after 24 weeks or 20 to 24 weeks, whatever the period, if that woman is taken, so terminated that particular person pregnancy, that only doctor can, that whatever medical practitioner can only reveal the details of that woman. That doctor also reveals the details to what? See, details to only the person authorized by the law, not any other person. That is a privacy. That's a woman's choice, or doctor cannot reveal the woman details outside. That is only taken to the person authorized by the law only. Wherever it is required, they have to reveal, otherwise it is not revealed. The violation of this kind of privacy, the doctor can face 1 year imprisonment or fine or both can. So these are the important points included in this particular act. Overall, whatever we discussed in a simple format, we'll see here. According to MTP Act 1971, what important details, whatever we discussed in the single page, you will get MTP Amendment Bill 2020. Right? What changes are there? If you observe, up to 12 weeks, advice of one doctor according to 1971 Act. Here, even new bill also gives one doctor. But up to 20 weeks, here advice of two doctors, here advice of one doctor. Because according to MTP Amendment Bill 2020, Here they are taking directly, so up to 20 weeks, up to 20 weeks. We cannot specify up to 12 and 20, directly up to 20 weeks, they can go with only one doctor suggestion. Clear? Advice of only one doctor. Now, if you talk about 20 to 24 weeks, according to MT Act 1971, we already discussed all these points, they are not allowed after 20 weeks. Up to 20 weeks only permission is there in according to 1971 Act. But what are the major changes in this particular new act? We are changing the time period, only 20 is there, here we are taking up to 24 weeks. So 20 to 24 weeks, so 2 doctors from the categories of pregnant women, the categories of pregnant women, only some categories, that categories already I explained. If fetal has some kind of abnormalities, or if woman was faced, or woman, any girl is faced with a rape cases, in that kind of special situation, they can go for 20-24 weeks also with the 2 doctor suggestion. And more than 24 weeks, the medical board has to give the authorization about the fetal abnormality. Even women can go to the termination of the pregnancy even after 24 weeks also. But this, according to this bill, the state set up a medical board. That medical board consists of different kind of specialists. So that particular medical board has to give fetal abnormality. Definitely they can go even after 24 weeks also. These are the additional 2 important things in this particular new bill. Clear? So another one more important, very important point also there. See, according to the protection of life, the state has the right to protect the life of a people or women here particularly. So any time during the pregnancy also we can go. But what is the special condition? Even after 24 weeks till 40 weeks or 42 weeks or whatever, generally, so 40 weeks to 42 weeks the pregnancy will take, 42 weeks generally. Even after 24 weeks also, or in the time of the during the pregnancy period till 9 months, they can go to the abortion or termination of the pregnancy based on some reasons. One doctor only, if immediately necessary to save the pregnant woman. Only in the emergency situations, if that pregnant woman has a life threat, in that situation one single doctor permission is required, but that too specialized doctor. So that person directly in that immediate situation they can go to the abortions. But so only in the situation of if the women have any kind of life threats or a problem, and that situations only they can go anytime. This is also one of the important point in this particular new bill. Now, the final points if you talk about here regarding this bill, it's a step toward safety and well-being of the women. Total in this particular essence of this particular bill, what it says, why its period is increased. 2 things. One is the women's safety, safe abortions, safe deliveries, as well as the fetal protection, the life protection of the fetal or baby, whatever. So particularly it's step towards the safety and well-being of the women. So sometimes in essays also you can use these kind of examples, or sometimes you can use these kind of things even in general studies papers in the mains level. Everything is important. Women related questions definitely we will get in the mains also. We can use these points, and many women will be benefited by this. Definitely many women will be benefited regarding these kind of things. Next, recently the several petitions were received by the courts. We already talked about writ petitions from the women. Now seeking permission for the aborting the pregnancies at a gestational age beyond the present permissible limit. According to 1971, the permissible limit is what? 20 weeks. So we already talked about so many writ petitions court got. So regarding permission for the aborting the pregnancies because so they have some kind of abnormalities. Just see here, abnormalities, fatal abnormalities or the pregnancies due to sexual violence enforced by women. So these two important things. See, women can go by with writ petitions, they can abort the pregnancies in different kind of situations. One is the fetal abnormalities, one is the sexual violence. In these two situations, they can go for termination of the pregnancies with writ petition only. The amendment will increase the ambit and access of women to safe abortion services. Just now we talked about this point. According to this bill, time period we are increasing, conditions we are changing. So definitely, women can we are increasing the ambit and access of the women to safe abortions using this bill. That's a positive point we can take, and it will ensure dignity, autonomy, and confidentiality and justice for women. These kind of words are very, very important, particularly for mains answer writing, and it will ensure dignity of the woman as well as autonomy of the woman. So women has a right to take a decision on their pregnancy or abortion. They have a reproductive right. Similarly, on the same lines, that woman has a right regarding this particular abortions or termination of the pregnancy. So that's autonomy. Autonomy is the individual thinking. The woman has that kind of thinking. That's we are taking in this particular. That is we are giving. We are ensuring to the woman that kind of lines we have to focus here. And confidentiality and justice for women who need to terminate the pregnancy, who want to terminate the pregnancy. Woman has a right. Even if you observe this particular bill, so unmarried woman has a right. So even married women, unmarried women, everyone has an equal right. For every woman we are giving an equal right according to this bill. If they don't want that pregnancy, definitely they have a right. They have an autonomy. They have an individual opinion to think. They have a own decisions can take. So on our body or whatever decision, the reproductive individuality is there. Similarly, so for this particular the termination of the pregnancy also, we have to give the freedom as well as confidentiality, justice and dignity and everything we have to give to the woman. That is we are giving from this particular bill 2021. Let's talk about this particular bill. These are the important points, complete details we discussed about this particular 2021 bill and 1971 bill. What is the differences or major changes, everything we talked here. I hope everyone got the clarity completely. What are the major changes, time and tenure and everything, what kind of features we are giving to the women for the safe delivery, safe abortions and safe deliveries, everything we discussed about here. I hope everyone clear with this particular point, and this concept is very much important. Definitely you will get questions in a prelims point of view as well as in the mains point of view. We have to focus every point very, very clearly. I hope everyone understand very, very clear manner. If everyone is clear, so please like the video as well as share to your friends also. If you follow regularly VISHNU IAS Academy YouTube channel, you will get regularly these kind of current events analysis and information we will put regularly. But if you want to crack UPSC civil services prelims and mains, definitely these classes, this current affairs information definitely will help more and more. So definitely share to your friends also. If you're watching the first time this particular YouTube channel, please like and subscribe this particular YouTube channel. Regularly you will get the updates. Thank you friends. Thank you all.